turned up. Let's go.
What is up, you guys? I'm Charmix. Today I'm going to be reacting to Film Theory, The Corruption of Superman by the film theorist. Now, just the title alone implies some heavy stuff, you know, saying that Superman is corrupt. But then again, with Superman being Superman and, you know, having basically the strongest superpowers of any other superhero, being like, you know, Superman's like a superhero with cheats activated because of how, like, you know, he's so overpowered. And someone like that, it's easy to see them, you know, getting corrupt because of how much, like, power you have. And you know the saying, you know, power corrupts, ultimate power corrupts ultimately. And Superman being ultimate power, yeah, it's easy to see him being corrupt. Anyway, with that being said, the original link's in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the Film Theorist. Without any further ado, let's begin.
You know, I wonder where Superman changes nowadays. There haven't been proper phone booths on random street corners for years, and it's not like he's gonna fit in a cell phone. Are there just some carefully removed scenes from each Superman movie now where he's just letting little Kal-El fly?
He could go to, like, you know, Starbucks bathrooms or McDonald's bathrooms, you know, just go in there. He could do that. However, everyone would see him go in and then see Superman come out, so, you know, things would be really suspicious at that point.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, where
Oh no, that's a new intro.
we strive to be the internet's most ethical fictional conspiracy theory show. So there's a lot of
That's a cool intro.
Spider-Man stuff happening right now. There's the new Spider-Man PS4 game, Enter the
Spooderman.
Spider-Verse, later this year. And as such, I've been rewatching the old Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies to search for theory fodder. And you know what caught my attention looking through all that?
Spider-Man's high forehead.
J. Jonah Jameson, one of the single best characters in all of comic fiction. Not only is he hilarious in those movies,
Spider-Man
You serious?
wasn't attacking the city. He was trying to save it. That's slander.
It is not. I resent that. Slander is spoken. In print, it's libel.
what really struck me this time was his commitment to his journalistic integrity.
What in the hell is this?
Green Goblin flies through the window and practically sets all of JJ's offices on fire, clutching him by the throat and demanding that he tell him who takes Spidey's pictures for the Bugle. Peter Parker is literally right there outside his office, the two of them just having gotten into a fight. And what does J. Jonah do?
Who's the photographer who takes the pictures of Spider-Man?
I don't know who he is. His stuff comes in the mail.
You're lying!
He lies to Green Goblin's face. For as
That's pretty crazy that he would do that, you know, just to protect Peter Parker.
harsh as he can be, he protects the anonymity of his sources and his employees with his own life. It's truly the mark of a heroic journalist. All of this got me thinking about other superhero
What?
reporters, specifically the most famous one of them all, Superman. When Superman puts on those magic glasses, he becomes mild-mannered Clark Kent, star reporter for the Daily Planet. Well, maybe star reporter is overselling his role a bit.
I logged into your Dropbox to find copy. There's copy, all right.
Throughout Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, we start seeing the inner workings of the Daily Planet, and
Oh yeah, Batman vs Superman. I watched this movie, but I watched the movie knowing beforehand that, you know, it was rated horrible. And I'm like, well, how bad could it possibly be? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It was not that good. It was not that good. Although I wish it was better. And like a lot of the writing was cheesy and didn't make any sense at times. Anyway, that was side note over.
And, well, the way they treat the news is a bit concerning.
When the planet was founded, it stood for something, Perry.
And so could you if it was 1938, but it's not 1938.
Nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman.
Well, they did care about it until they saw this
Accurate.
movie. Ha-ha! Self-awareness for the win. But seriously, with behavior like that, would the Daily Planet be considered a good ethical newspaper? Or is it just a whole lot more fake news? So today I'm taking a deep dive into the icy pool of superhero journalism in an effort to determine whether Superman, the icon of truth, justice, and the American way, is working for a company that's just as sleazy as the criminals he's working to put behind bars. Now, obviously I can't go accusing one of the most iconic
Well, I mean, every newspaper has its own bias or whatever, right? So, I mean, most likely the newspaper that he's works for has an agenda, right? Or a viewpoint. So probably, but that doesn't mean that they're as bad as the villains in Superman or whatever, right?
Fictional papers of being unethical without setting up a few rules first. So I turned to the experts. The Society of Professional Journalists, in their mission to protect and improve journalism, has created some very clear guidelines for journalistic ethics. The rules fall into one of four main categories: seek the truth and report it, minimize harm, act independently, and be accountable and transparent. Now, the first one almost seems obvious. As a newspaper, the Planet should be interested in seeking out the truth and reporting it. You know, delivering the news in an objective fashion. But when you actually look at how it operates, they really fail in some spectacular ways.
I wonder how many newspapers in the real world follow this guideline.
As part of this category, the Society of Professional Journalists list 1. Being vigilant and courageous about holding those with power accountable, giving a voice to the voiceless. 2. Boldly telling the story of the diversity and magnitude of the human experience. Seek sources whose voices we seldom hear. And 3. Avoiding stereotypes. Journalists should be examining the ways their values and experiences may shape their reporting. All of which are great goals, representing everyone fairly and equally, giving a spotlight to the stories that have no other outlet. So let's see how Perry was.
Yeah, it sounds good on paper, but I guess in practice, things don't normally go the way that they should.
White and the Daily Planet feel about all that. In the 1978 Superman, the iconic and widely considered best film version of Superman, Lois Lane comes in with a pitch for her story.
It's got everything. It's got sex, it's got violence, it's got the ethnic angle.
The ethnic angle. So how does her editor-in-chief Perry White respond?
I mean, look
Yeah,
at
so
it.
is a lady wrestler with a foreign accent.
Lady wrestler with a foreign accent? Looks like Perry missed the day where they taught point number 3 about avoiding stereotypes. It truly does sound like Perry is sacrificing his
My goodness. I haven't seen that Spider-Man, so yeah, I did not know what was coming up there.
ethical integrity because the story is merely about minorities. Any way you slice it, it is clearly not a response that gives us any sort of confidence that he's examining ways that his values and experiences may be shaping the reporting. But that was way back in the 1970s. Surely the modern Perry White has been sufficiently woke, right?
Why aren't we covering this? Poor people don't buy papers? People don't buy papers, period, Ken.
Perry, when you assign a story, you're making a choice about who matters.
Good morning, Smallville.
The American conscience died.
So did Charmex's last few brain cells.
And the problems don't just exist in the stories that Perry is selecting, but also how he's encouraging those stories to be framed. Another tenet of the society is to, quote, provide context, take special care not to misrepresent or oversimplify in promoting, previewing, or summarizing a story. And what's the thing that we hear repeatedly throughout the original Superman film? Perry White's official motto that he teaches all his reporters.
I need stories, intrigue, conspiracy. I need to sell papers.
A good reporter doesn't get great stories, Jimmy.
A good reporter
Makes them great.
Regardless of whether you're stuck with the slogan-slinging 70s stereotyping Perry White or the modern DCEU's random story assigning Perry White, working at the Planet has always seemed to be an ethical minefield.
So it's basically just like newspapers today, where it's about, you know, clickbaity kind of titles and that kind of stuff. And what the frig is this? Are these mines or pots of rice? What is this?
Point number 2, minimize harm. So this sounds like it should be a really simple task for a newspaper that unwittingly employs a superhero. But this principle is actually based on the need to balance the public's need for information against the potential harm or discomfort that information getting out could cause them. Throughout Batman v Superman, we witness Perry White repeatedly shutting down Clark's attempts at an expose on Batman. A man who is, for all intents and purposes, an out-of-control vigilante.
I think you mean an awesome one. I don't like the new Batman with what the freak is the actor's name? Like I like the Dark Knight Batman the most because the new one is like I don't know. He's too jacked. I think that's probably the best way to put it. It's like he's been on too many roids for way too long. I don't know. I just like the older one more. I also like the older one's voice more. It doesn't have that weird like I don't freaking know thing that changes it.
I don't know about you, but it certainly seems like a piece of information that would be pertinent to the safety of the public. But nope, apparently according to Perry, it needs to stay under wraps.
Nothing about football, just
The goddamn Gotham Bat thing, I told you not to pursue.
The police won't help. The press has to do the right thing.
You don't get to decide what the right thing is.
But it's even worse in...
Okay, wait, so far, I mean, it looks like Superman isn't the one who's actually corrupt, but it's the newspaper that's more corrupt, right? Because from the title, I was thinking that, oh, is Superman the corrupt one? That's what I thought, but it seems like it's the actual newspaper.
Man of Steel when Lois decides to bury her story on the existence and identity of Superman. You know, the first ever confirmed actual super-powered alien to ever land on Earth ever.
I believe you saw something, Lois. So whatever your reasons are for dropping it, I think you're doing the right thing. Can you imagine how people on this planet would react?
Sure, it seems like Perry, for once, is taking his responsibility to his readers seriously, but I would argue that he's making the wrong decision here. As we see later in the movie, the public would soon find out about Superman's existence through his very public battle against Zod, a battle that causes panic, fear, and extreme loss of life. An introduction to Superman...
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't know that, you know, that was gonna happen, right? He didn't know that was gonna happen. He can't, like, predict the future. And at the time, maybe his decision was the best for the time. But after, you know, the big public display, it's probably best that they write the article or whatever.
And as a peaceful entity through Lois Lane's Daily Planet article, prior to that battle would have gone a long way to mitigate the questions the public would have had in the aftermath of that battle, circumventing not only a large part of the general outcry and overall atmosphere of fear present in Batman v Superman, but also, well, it would just circumvent a lot of that movie in general, which is not a bad thing.
You just got roasted, yo!
But really, those two categories are nothing compared to the massive ethical violations in the act independently and be accountable and transparent sections. When it comes to acting independently, of the 5 rules listed on the Society's website, the Daily Planet breaks the following 4. 1. Avoiding conflicts of interest, real or perceived, disclosing unavoidable conflicts.
How do Superman and Clark Kent provide a conflict with each other? They are the same person.
2. Refusing gifts, favors, fees, free travel, and special treatment, and avoiding political and other outside activities that may compromise integrity or impartiality, or may just damage credibility. 3. Being wary of sources offering information for favors or money, not paying for access to news, identifying content provided by outside sources whether paid or not. And finally, point number 4, denying favored treatment to advertisers, donors, or other special interests. Most of these ethical standards are put through the shredder by Perry White assigning...
I didn't really mention this before, but do the people who work at the Daily Star know that Clark Kent is Superman? Because, I mean, legit, the only difference between Clark Kent and Superman is that he puts on glasses, right? Like, it's not hard to tell. So it's hard to tell sometimes if they're aware that he's Superman or not.
Clark, what seems to be yet another seemingly random story in the middle of Batman v Superman.
Benefit for the Library of Metropolis. Someone on the committee requested that Clark Kent cover it. Probably some old charity crone who's got a thing for nerds.
Whoa! Slow down your violations there, Perry. You just assigned...
Roasted.
Your sports reporter
Your sports today.
to cover a charity benefit just because someone rich asked you to? That seems like a very direct violation of denying favored treatment to advertisers and donors. So yeah, the Daily Planet breaks about every ethical rule in the book. Biased coverage, preferential treatment to donors, hyperbolic, empty-headed clickbait titles, and willfully withholding information pertinent to the public good. But if that wasn't bad enough, here's the worst part. They've dragged down Superman with them. Clark himself isn't innocent in any of this. After all...
Oh, okay, here we go, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. How is he corrupt? Because, you know, the title made it sound as if he's corrupt. But then through this, we're not even talking about him being corrupt, we're talking about the freaking Daily Star being corrupt. And it's pretty obvious to see that it is, just like most places. It has nothing to do with him, but now we're getting into how Superman's corrupted. I'm interested in this because, you know, so far it seems like Superman's been wanting to do the right thing. This is the juicy part, ladies and gentlemen.
Any story that Clark writes about Batman, or any superhero, or any supervillain for that matter, is unquestionably biased and a direct conflict of interest since Clark is Superman.
Yeah, I guess that is a conflict of interest.
Such undisclosed information could radically alter the public's perception of any story that he writes, given that he's the one out there punching it up on the street. Clark makes things worse for Lois Lane too, providing her with gifts, favors, fees, free travel, and special treatment, all of which could radically alter her bias in stories about not just Superman.
Ah, friggin' Matt, here we go. Yeah, I think Matt's right. Superman is a little bit corrupt from it. Well, this could be written off as love, right? Which, yes, I guess that would make it a bit more corrupt, but it's not as if he's doing it specifically for favors.
But also all of Superman's enemies. In Superman Returns, true to the title of the movie, Superman leaves and then he returns. It's actually a very accurate title. But in the interim while he's gone, Lois's connection with the Man of Steel and her frustration with her romantic partner up and leaving without any notice causes her to write an article titled Why the World Doesn't Need Superman.
Be crazy.
An article which wins her a Pulitzer Prize. You think that would have been written had she not been all lovey-dovey with the boy in blue? Certainly not. You think that the Pulitzer Prize judges would have given her an award for journalism had they known that she was stuppin' soups? Definitely not.
Stuppin' soups? Stuppin'? Really? Stuppin'? What the frig does that mean? I assume I get what it means. But Stuppen, like, is that like a German word or something? I've never heard that in like a sentence before. Stuppen?
Not. Every time that Clark puts his fingers on a keyboard, he is lying to the American people about his process, about what he knows, and about what he's thinking. And here's the kicker. He knows it. That's why he's working at the Daily Planet in the first place.
I gotta find a job where I can keep my ear to the ground, where people won't look twice when I want to go somewhere dangerous.
It is done with intention. He has no plans to accurately report the news. He's using the guise of a reporter to protect himself.
Yeah, he is. Oh my goodness, Matt. Why do you gotta ruin Superman for me?
Sorry, remind me what Superman stands for again?
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
Yeah, I'll give you 2 out of the 3. Let's just leave the truth one off the list. But hey, that's just a theory.
A good theory, and you got lots of proof to back it up, too. Why do you gotta ruin these movies for me, Matt? Why do you gotta ruin them? I like Superman, however, Superman vs. Batman, let's not talk about. But I like Superman, but he is, like, way overpowered, and why do you gotta expose him for being corrupt? Then again, you know, as I was saying, you know, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Superman is pretty freaking powerful. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Well, it looks like Superman is corrupt, and it's quite believable. It's another movie that Matt has ruined for me, but, anyway, if you guys like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend. If you do, subscribe to the family. Let me know what you think of this, but yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Boop.